God, holy shit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shuck. I make videos for NBA, obviously. I also cover other content in my Discord. You can find these videos right here on this subreddit. It's called DF Sports. I make updates with all the news that comes out. No news today. You can talk strategy here. Um, what's it called? Talk with other people. You can ask me questions. It's a really, really great place to be. Definitely check that out. Sorry, I was looking at rotations before I made this video. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. Let's take a look at my lineup from tonight. So it was a good day for me. Didn't cast Showdown, but cashed on the main slate. The core that I had for today just absolutely crushed. Trae Young core play, I mean, crush. Bogdan Bogdanovic, I mean, he was 90% owned, as he should have been. Crush. Anthony Edwards, a corp. When will people learn to stop fading Anthony? Well, I mean, I guess they can't play him anymore, but I'm glad I jammed Anthony Edwards 5 straight slates, and he nuked and made me infinite money at low ownership every time. And then I had NAW as a core play. He was great, a little over 6x, so 4 out of 4 on the core today for me. And Sadiq Bey is the most tilting thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. 18 fantasy points at half, ends with 18. Just Chris Paul, 13 fantasy points at half. What are we doing? Also, a series low in minutes. Unbelievable. Torian Prince. I thought he was going to play a lot. 22 minutes. Picked up 2 quick fouls in the beginning. I think he stayed in though. But really good night overall. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. And let's talk about this 4-game slate. So I think this will be the last 4-game slate of the season. So if you want to be a degenerate and max enter every contest because it's the last 4-game slate, be my guest. I will not tell you not to. So, let's fucking do this. And you're going to see the pricing does not make sense. Quentin Grimes, questionable. So you heard me in my last video talk about I just don't like this game environment. But the pricing in this game it does not make sense to me. Now let's go over if Grimes is in. Then I still really freaking like Brunson. He's just too cheap. He's gonna play he's gonna play 44 minutes. He's their clear go-to guy right now. His usage is great. He's stuffing the stat sheet. He's taking a ton of shots. I know the game environment isn't great, but when you have a usage rate this high and you're only 7.5K, you're going to be a really good play. Julius Randle at 6'9". Now, I know he's been god awful in this series. I know he got benched last game. I know his minutes haven't been great. Some of that definitely due to blowout, but I don't think he's going to get benched again here. I mean, they need him. I think we get 35-ish minutes from him. Sub 7K is definitely tempting. I think he's a pretty solid play. I feel like he's going to be pretty popular tomorrow. It's just, unfortunately, it's too cheap. So I think Randall's definitely a very good play. I do prefer Brunson to Randall, but I do like both quite a bit at the top. Now, if Quentin Grimes is in, then obviously Grimes will start. Josh Hart will go back to the bench. Hart would still be fine. I just don't think he'd play as this many minutes that he did last game. He'd still be like a fine value at 5-1, but I would like him a lot better if Quentin Grimes is out. And then RJ Barrett, I think, I'd feel better about him playing huge minutes if Grimes is out, but I still think we get over 30 from him. And at 5.4K, I think he's solid. Another price point to where I think it's a bit too cheap. And then I'm not going to play Obi Toppin. I'm not going to play Quickly. I'm not going to play any of these guys. Now, if Quentin Grimes is out and we get Josh Hart in the starting lineup, then I think he looks like one of the best value plays in the slate. I would really like Josh Hart if Quentin Grimes is out and he starts. And then I'd feel better about RJ Barrett. I think he'd be a solid play. And then Brunson and Randall, they don't really change much for me. Oh, forgot to go over Mitch. Mitch Hartenstein, they'll kind of split the center minutes. Mitch did get to 30 and 27 minutes the last 2 games. So, I mean, if I knew Mitch was going to play 30 minutes tomorrow, I'd probably play him. So, do what you want with that info. I like his tournament upside. I like his upside for tournaments. But I only like to play Mitchell Robinson when he's low owned, right? Just because the minutes are in question. When he's popular, there's definitely volatility there. And I don't like to play chalk that's volatile. So, I always like Mitch when he's low owned. So just keep an eye on ownership there. And I think Hartenstein's like a reasonable value, but I do prefer Mitch to Hart. Cleveland. So Donovan Mitchell, sub 9K. He's not going to leave the court. He's going to play 42 minutes. He's not going to shoot 5 of 18 again. He's now priced down to 8,700. Once again, it's not a strong take here. He looks very good. Darius Garland got into foul trouble early, lost a bit of minutes. Price came down to 7K. He's going to pop in optimizers. He's going to project really, really well. I definitely am going to agree with that. That I think both the guards here for the Cavaliers look very good. The bigs are just really hard for me to go to right now. They're just not touching the ball at all. The only people touching the ball on this team is Darius Garland, Karis LeVert, and Donovan Mitchell. Let's take a look. Mobley had 8 shot attempts. Jared Allen had what? 11. They're just not touching the ball right now. They'll probably be very, very low owned, and they're going to play huge minutes, which makes them in play. But I have a tough time going there, but they're fine. And then assuming Karis LeVert continues to start, he's also going to play huge minutes. I think he looks like a very good play. Going to be very popular tomorrow. Probably very popular tomorrow for good reason. He looks great at 5.2K. And then they're running such a tight rotation, you can't really go to anyone else in this team. So, yeah, that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the Lakers and Grizzlies. LeBron, AD, I mean, they're both good plays now. Would I rather play LeBron or AD over Giannis? Fuck no. Absolutely not. So, I think they're good plays. I definitely rank some other spend ups ahead of them. Like, I rank Giannis ahead of them. I think I like, it's definitely Giannis 1 and then probably 82 as far as spend ups go on the slate. LeBron 3, and then everyone else below. You could throw Butler in there, but they're definitely my second and third favorite spend ups on the slate. If you want to include Butler in that, maybe they're my third and fourth. But I think they both look good. I think I prefer Anthony Davis to LeBron, but I think LeBron will get more ownership. But I do like both quite a bit. D'Lo, Reeves, I still think they're both pretty solid plays in the mid-range. I do prefer Reeves to D'Lo. They're just going to run Reeves into the ground. He has a good role in this team. He's handling the ball a decent amount. He could stuff the stat sheet. I'm not worried about him getting benched as I am with D'Lo, because they could easily go to Schroeder over D'Lo if D'Lo's playing bad. So I really like Austin Reeves. I think D'Lo's fine, like I said, but I do prefer Austin Reeves. There's no chance I'm paying almost 6K for Rui Hachimura. I like Dennis Schroeder. He was a core play for me last slate. I like him quite a bit again for value. If D'Lo struggles, they'll bench. I know D'Lo fouled out last game. That's why Dennis Schroeder played a bit more. But if D'Lo struggles, he's already going to play around 20 minutes. And if you get a game where D'Lo does struggle or something like that, I believe this game did it go into overtime? Yeah, it did. I think you get around 20 minutes regardless from Schroeder, and then, like I said, if D'Lo gets into foul trouble or if he's not playing well, they'll extend Schroeder. And he's 3.8K, and he actually has a ceiling. So I do like Schroeder quite a bit for value. Vanderbilt had an insane game in 20 minutes last game. I'll let other people chase that. I think he's a fine value, but this is like his uber ceiling in the minutes he's going to play. You definitely do get these random 30 fantasy point games, but more often than not, playing alongside AD and only playing around 20 minutes, he's not going to do much for you. So I like fading Vanderbilt tomorrow, and then can't go to anyone else in this team. Let's go on to Memphis. So probably my least favorite team to target on this slate. Ja Morant, I mean, he's going to be very low owned tomorrow after being absolute chalk last slate. He shot 8 of 24. I do like him as a bounce back candidate. Really good spot against the Lakers. This game's going to be played very, very fast. So I do like Ja as a tournament only play for me. Bane, Jackson, I think if you're fading Ja, it could make sense to getting one of these guys. You don't have to, but if Ja's going to have a bad game, Bane's probably going to have a pretty good game like he did last game. Played 42 minutes in regulation, so I like both these guys for tournaments. I like all three for tournaments because I think all three will be pretty low owned. And they're going to run it like all these teams. They're going to run such a tight rotation. I do prefer Jaren to Bane just because I like the floor a bit more on Jaren. If he can stay out of foul trouble and he has that block, steals upside. They are also playing at home, so we get the scorekeeper's advantage there. Stat keeper's advantage there. So I do like Jaren and Bane for tournaments. Xavier Tillman's going to be a huge part on this team. He's also probably going to play 35 plus minutes. He just seems like a super, super safe play to me. Seems like a good cash game play. Now, can he win you a tournament slate? I think he can. I think he can have like 40 plus in him, but it's definitely very rare. This was definitely an outlier, but he just feels like super super safe to me, and they're relying on him a ton to defend. So yeah, I think Tillman's good. Dylan Brooks 4-6, I feel like is going to be one of the more popular value plays on the slate. It's just very very hard to find value on playoff slates where a player is under $5,000 and they're going to play 35 plus minutes. So unfortunately, yes, I think Dylan Brooks stands out as one of the better value plays on the slate. I hate it, but I do think he looks good. Luke Kennard got his minutes slashed last game, so hard to go there. They're playing David Roddy over Aldama. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe if I was playing 150 lineups, I'd throw some in there, but hard for me to go there in my one lineup. Let's go over Miami. So you would think that the Bucks make some adjustments here and possibly slow down Jimmy Butler. I mean, if I was Bud, what would I do? I'd make adjustments. I'd double Butler. I would do something. So it's already a really bad matchup for Jimmy Butler specifically. So I like him. He's been phenomenal in the playoffs. He's playing alongside absolute bums. I mean, Bam is an absolute bum. He's playing alongside guys like Strus, Gabe Vincent, just bums. Absolute bums on this team. So his usage is just going to be phenomenal. I'm just worried his ownership might be up. And I think the Bucks are definitely going to make adjustments here. So I do like Jimmy a lot. He's not going to rank above these guys for me. Like I like Giannis over him. I like LeBron. I like AD. I like these guys over him, but he's definitely right there behind them. Might even throw Steph above these guys. Like there's so all I know is Giannis is my favorite spend up, and nobody's even close behind him. I really like Steph. I really like one of AD or LeBron. And then you could throw Butler in there. But yeah, if you want to continue to ride the hot streak, I think it's perfectly reasonable. He's been phenomenal. Bam Adebayo has been absolutely terrible. He got into early foul trouble here, so that's why he only played 30 minutes. He's probably going to be low owned. I think he's a good tournament play just because I don't think too many people are going to be playing him. The price came down. Usually he should be like an 8K player, so I do have some interest in Bam just for bounce back candidate reasons. And then this shit just unbelievable. I don't know. Spoelstra is just going to go with the hot hand here. I'm not playing Caleb Martin at 5'6". I'm just not going to do it. But let's go over Kevin Love. I'm not playing him. I will not do it. If he's low owned, I'm actually okay with it. If he's going to be popular, which I think he will be, I'm not going to play him. I'm not going to play him just because his minutes are always in question. I'm just not going to do it. If he's low owned, sure, be my guest, go there. But if he's popular again, like he was this slate, I'm just not going to do it. Duncan Robinson, I'm not going to do it either. If he's going to be popular again, I'm not going to do it. If he's low owned, I'm fine taking shots there. Once again, Eric Spoelstra, going to go with the hot hand. Duncan got there in the blowout this game. This game, Spoelstra went with the hot hand. Minutes-wise for him, I have absolutely no idea. I think he'll be in the rotation. I think he'll play 15 plus. Any more than that, I have no idea. So, once again, If he's going to be low owned, I'm okay with it. If he's going to be popular, I always like fading volatile chalk. I want none of it. I want none of it if he's going to be popular. Now, Max Strus, on the other hand, I played him last slate. He scored me negative fantasy points. Would I be shocked if he plays 35 minutes tomorrow and goes for like 30 fantasy points? Absolutely not. He's going to be like 2% owned tomorrow. I know it's like one of the worst and toughest clicks in the world to play Max Strus after this. I know it. I know it's absolutely hard to do. But I think he's a good tournament play. I do. I think, like I said, if he comes out and he plays well and he doesn't pick up 3 quick fouls instantly, hits like a couple threes in the beginning, he is going to play a ton of minutes. And absolutely nobody is going to play Max Strus tomorrow. So for that reason, I think he's a good tournament play. I do. I'm probably going to do it, and I'm going to go down with the ship there, and I'm going to be in pain, just absolute pain. Kyle Lowry, I think, is solid here once. Oh, that's Kevin Love. I think Kyle Lowry is solid here once again. He only played 8 first half minutes, ended with 25. Spoelstra's just got to play him, man. He just has to. I think we get 25 plus here from Kyle Lowry again. They need offense out there, man. So Kyle Lowry's solid to me once again. Excuse me. I prefer him over Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's fine. Last game, definitely an outlier. But another like okay play. Like I said, I prefer Kyle Lowry. But it's just so hard to project these guys for the minutes. It's really, really hard. All I can say for sure is I know Kyle Lowry will probably get around 25 minutes. I know Gabe Vincent will probably get mid-20s. I know Duncan will play around 15, maybe a bit more. No idea on Strus, and I know Caleb Martin will probably get 25 plus, but he's almost 6K, so it's hard to go there. And I know Butler and Bam will play massive minutes. So it's a tough team to talk about. There's some tough clicks there. Some chalk, if they're chalk, definitely want to get away from. All right, on to Milwaukee. I think Giannis looks phenomenal. I'm not fading Giannis tomorrow at 10.4K. They're down 3-1. He's going to play 48 minutes. He looks absolutely phenomenal. There's just no getting. I'm not fading Giannis tomorrow. He looks amazing. Drew Middleton, more secondary plays for me. You guys knew I absolutely loved Brook Lopez this slate. He absolutely nuked. Now, I have a feeling he's going to go a bit over-owned tomorrow. This game was a complete outlier. So I still think he's a fine play. I would just pump the brakes a little bit there. Bobby Portis, I'm not going to get to at that price. Grayson Allen, I think we get mid-20s minutes for, maybe 30. Has to hit his shots to reach value, a fine value. And then Pat Connaughton, been in the rotation. If he continues to play over 20 minutes, I think he's an okay value play. Joe Ingles will be in the rotation, but I prefer Pat Connaughton over him. All right, last game here, guys. I mean, I love this Warriors team tomorrow. I mean, I do. They ran an extremely tight rotation, basically what the Cavs are doing. You just saw Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond Green. You just saw all these guys just play absolutely massive minutes. They basically X'd out GP2. Dante barely played. Kuminga's not playing much. They just ran a super, super tight rotation. So I think Draymond Green gets back into the starting lineup. So we'll go over it that way, assuming he gets back into the starting lineup. So Steph, if I have a feeling he's going to be popular tomorrow, but if he's low owned, I'm playing Steph Curry. I think he looks great. I might even actually rank him ahead of the Lakers. I really like Steph Curry. Now, if Poole is off the bench, that makes me like Klay Thompson even more. If Poole is starting, I still think Klay's a good play, but I wouldn't be as excited about it. But I think Klay's another very good play. I think Andrew Wiggins, another pretty good play to me at 6.7K. They're just going to need him out there a ton. He could stuff the stat sheet, good defender. Really like Wiggins. Draymond, assuming he starts, I really like here once again. Another guy that's just going to stuff the stat sheet. They need him out there. They want one of Draymond or Looney on Sabonis at all times. I really like Draymond. Assuming they go, I mean, Looney's going to start regardless. I think he's a very, very safe. I'd rather play Looney over Tillman if you want that 1v1 there. And then Jordan Poole, I think we get 25-ish minutes from him. 5K does seem too cheap. I like him quite a bit. So I love this Warriors team tomorrow. I think they all are underpriced, so can't get to the bench. Sacramento. Fox, his index finger is broken or something, so I don't think I'll be going there. If you want to go there for tournaments, because he'll be low owned, I think that's okay. If we'll get ownership, I'll just fade. Domantas Sabonis has been absolutely terrorized by Draymond and Kevon Looney. In play for tournaments, but I'd rather go to other guys. I'd rather play Butler over Sabonis and those guys. This is where it gets tricky. Keegan Murray was getting benched. He played. They're just going to go with the hot hand. You guys know what I'm going to say here. One of these wings will have a good game. One will have a mediocre game. One will get benched. Last game it was Herter who got benched. You saw Keegan Murray have the big game. You saw Harrison Barnes have the mediocre game. I do know that Barnes will not get benched. He will play over 30 minutes, so he's the safest of the bunch. If you want pure ceiling, that's going to be Malik Monk, but it's hard for me to pay $6K for Malik Monk, especially with that volatility. Hard for me to pay $6K for Kevin Herter, but he does have a ceiling if he's hitting his shots. Like, these wings are just tough for me to get to. So I'm really only looking to the main guys here for the Kings. And that's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you guys had a great night.